best version of themselves every year, and Nick Harlan-Voigt feels like his lineup has done that.
Yeah, George Tesouris with 2 straight shutouts. Part of that entire team, though, like you said, for Portland, playing some fantastic soccer. And here we go. We are underway on the Bluff. Getting things going. A physical start. A foul called right off the bop against UC Riverside. Just the second ever matchup between these two schools. They did face off in 2019. Pretty recently, and recent enough that actually 4 players in this match played in that 2019 contest right here at Merlot Field. Spadawia and Osorio for UC Riverside. Pierre and Arteaga, I should say, excuse me, for Portland. And here we go, free kick opportunity for the Pilots. Sent into the box, cleared away for a moment towards the penalty arc. Down the near side, trying to clear it away. UC Riverside able to do so. Nice header getting towards Songa. German Songa trying to track this one down. The defense of Alexander Vukovic. UC Riverside statistically hasn't been a great defensive team here this year. I mentioned they have Carlos Gonzalez, an excellent keeper, but they allow more than a goal per match, 25 on the season, so could be some opportunities today for UP.
And as I said in the open, this Portland team has scored 46 goals this year, which is the most by a UP team since 1999, which for longtime fans will know that's the start of the Connor Casey era here, a prolific goal scorer that went on to play in MLS. So high compliments, high praise for such a high-powered offense. And the great thing about watching this team and watching these players in is that they have several players with multiple games and not just 2 goals, several players with 3, 4, 5, 6 goals to go along with Brandon Cambridge and his dozen that he's collected this year.
Yeah, UP with 2.7 goals per match this year, which is 3rd in the country and leading the West Coast Conference. First time over midfield and in possession here at UC Riverside. Went 5-2-2 in Big West play. With their first ever conference regular season championship here this season. Trying to send in a cross, deflected away, and Portland's able to handle it. Rocket all the way back to Gonzalez. UC Riverside playing some good soccer as of late. They've won 4 in a row, their last 2 regular season matches, and then cleaning up in the conference tournament over at Cal State Northridge and UC Santa Barbara. So Portland coming off a regular season finale in which they picked up a 4-0 victory at Pacific. Before that, beat Santa Clara 4-0 as well. So both these teams peaking at the right time here heading into the postseason.
That was a big win for them. A slip up against San Diego. Unfortunate, that's what cost them the WCC title. San Diego ended up cruising through and doing what they needed to do to get that automatic bid for the West Coast Conference. But Portland cleaned things up, got back after it, finished strong, and as a result of their efforts, get the at-large bid.
Yeah, Portland at one point in the season got up to number 6 in the country before losing to Oregon State, which coincidentally the winner of this match will play Oregon State Sunday in Corvallis. The Beavs getting the 8 seed, watching this one, waiting to see who their opponent will be Sunday at 6 p.m. as they get a home matchup. Kevin Bonilla in possession on the far side. Now the long ball downfield, trying to get it to Songa. German Songa waits for teammates to get forward. Into the 18, pass towards the middle, towards Cambridge, deflected to Songa. And Gonzalez able to clean it up. Dangerous deflection there. And the defense from Freymar Omarsson, the senior from Iceland, stopping Songa from scoring that time. Portland quickly back in possession and on the attack. Bonilla trying to make something happen, but dispossessed quickly by UCR. The one-on-one defense of Nick Dinley, the former walk-on, takes it away from Oscar Penate. He's probably sick of hearing that at this point. I'm not a walk-on anymore, okay?
He did. He earned a scholarship at the start of the year, but, you know, his was a bit of an interesting situation. He started his career at the local NAIA college just over the corner here, and the college shuts down. And, you know, a lot of their student athletes have this Concordia University, by the way, but it was, you know, shuts down. Their players have no place to go, and he's a local product. He's from FC Portland and ends up, you know, getting a shot here, and really has, once he came onto this team, has not left that right back, or that left back spot, excuse me.
Yeah, it's a guy that, you know, was just happy to be playing soccer still after Concordia shut down, but now he's a starter in that left back spot for this Portland team. He's done a fantastic job this year, part of a Pilots defense that led the West Coast Conference, allowing just 1 goal per match this season. Songa, busy day for him. Towards Babalai, back to Songa. Now Dinley. Tracy, the experienced 5th-year senior for Portland. All the way up top to Nava. It's a chilly night here in Portland. 41 degrees, bit of wind, humidity. Feels like 33 degrees. The official feels like temperature.
Gotta really hand it to those Portland players. Most of them going without that Nike Pro gear underneath, the warm compression gear. But definitely seeing a few of the UC Riverside players taking advantage with the tights on. Gloves. It's chilly here.
Yeah, not a lot of sleeves and gloves from Portland as we would expect. Denley with a left-footed shot. Gonzalez able to clear it away.
And this is a great start for Portland. They've been mostly in the attack, kept the ball up in their attacking part of the pitch. Had the opportunity for that set play right off the bat. They've been very good on set pieces this year, and we'll see what they have cooking on this corner. It's they've been excellent on their set piece execution this year.
That was Babalai on that shot. Now this is Dinley taking the corner for Portland. In swinging cross all the way to the far side. Headed off of Arteaga for a moment. Still in possession on the right side. The chip pass in the middle and the header cleaned up by Gonzalez. Delence Pierre had a decent chance there with the header. Couldn't finish it off.
And Portland has been so good this year at keeping corners alive, set pieces alive. After it gets broken up, it's players, Nava, coming in, picking up, cleaning up the pieces, just trying to get the ball and keep it circulating in and around the box to generate that next opportunity.
Nava's playing really well lately. An assist each of the last 2 matches. Pretty good pass there, nearly had his 3rd in a row. Dinley steps up, beautiful timing there as he passes forward to Songa. Songa surveys, now back to Dinley. Tracy lost control for a moment, UCR takes advantage. Good chance for UC Riverside here. Badawia, who played in that 2019 game here at Merlot Field. There's a left-footed pass across, nobody there. It was Brendan Clark on the pass there. He was trying to find his teammate Noah Lopez, just off a bit on the timing. Been a huge season for Clark. 21 points this year, 3rd in the Big West. 7 goals and 7 assists here this season. So you see Riverside team can score. 4 matches this year, they've scored 4 goals. Just been a little inconsistent for their liking. Cambridge trying to track that one down. Gonzalez comes out to send it back. It was Adrian Meade-Tatum going step for step there with Cambridge.
And, you know, you and I were talking before the game just about all the stats and numbers that can happen and go along, and, you know, things like the 46 goals and pieces of information like that. And
there's a right-footed shot that goes sailing up over the net.
one thing that we found in UCR's media communications, this team started 1-6-2. They started the team, that is an incredible turnaround to then go win the Big West Championship. After they lost to Cal State Northridge, they more or less ran the table on the rest of their schedule to then go into the Big West tournament, be situated to beat UC Santa Barbara, the Big West favorites, twice in the span of 2 weeks. And that just tells me that this is a very resilient team. They get knocked down, they come back, they learn, they try new things, and they really come after it. It's such an impressive season for this Highlander team to make it into the playoffs after starting. Any team that starts the season 1-6-2 can't be thinking positive things about the remainder of their season at that point, and for them to do what they've done has been absolutely tremendous. Yeah, and resilience, a great way to describe how they've been all year. They've stepped up in big games. They're 5-1 this season against teams in the top half of the standings of the Big West Conference. Only 114 in the RPI, so they don't have the flashy stats and numbers on paper in terms of a resume, but the fact is they've stepped up in big games and they're pretty fearless. You have to have, the mentality program-wide and from player to player and from the head coach on down has to be phenomenal to then do what they did. Can't say enough good things about this team. Yeah, Tim Coupello, the Big West Coach of the Year this season. On the right side, crossed in by Alexander and cleared away, but a corner kick opportunity now for UCR. Tim Coupello, the winningest coach in program history. Previously an assistant at Syracuse and a Division III school, Fredonia. Doing a great job as the head man for UC Riverside. First corner of the match for UCR. Brendan Clark, left-footed corner. Deflected and cleared away by Dinley. Just over 12 minutes into this match. Shot advantage favoring Portland so far at 3-1. Andrew Alexander to throw it in. Portland regains possession. Another great crowd on hand here at Merlo Field. Maybe not as great as it could be if it wasn't so cold. There's the pressure defense of UCR and the pass on the right side. Penate back to the middle and cleared away. Leopoldo Hernandez was on the receiving end of this pass after his great defense. Yeah, Greg Tracy's touch just gets away from him, but then you just look right there. That's a great entry pass in from Noah Lopez. And yeah, Oscar Penate just can't make anything of it, but great defensive minded there from the Highlanders. Greg Tracy comes in, doesn't realize he's being marked as tight as he was, and Lopez just takes advantage. Hernandez, first team All Big West selection this season after a second team nod last year. He was on the defense and then nearly able to get a good shot on there against Tesouris. Another throw in for Portland on the far side. The Pilots trying to stay unbeaten at home here at Merlo Field. Win here, and they complete the first undefeated season at home since 1995. 95 team was pretty good. They went far. Yeah. Did all right. It'd be historic if they can be in the same category as that team. They went to the national semifinal. CJ Tibbling passes all the way back for Tesouris, the WCC co-goalkeeper of the year. Waiting, distributes this one deep downfield for Sanga. UC Riverside a bit more possession now than we saw early on. The first maybe 10 minutes or so of this half.
pressure defense of Portland is really getting to him. More patience with the ball. Hernandez up top. Crowd of purple jerseys converge, and it pays off. Cambridge on the right side. And the defense from Vukovic does not draw a whistle, to the chagrin of the Pilots faithful on hand here. And that time it does. Hernandez not happy. Cambridge able to draw the foul that time.
When we look at this first play, Cambridge, that ball's bouncing in, and he's just going to try to settle it here. And Vukovic looks there, just kind of loses his footing on Cambridge, and then gets kind of right in his way right there. You see he's kind of reach his hand back a little bit. Doesn't look like he grabbed Cambridge's leg, but he certainly didn't try to get out of the way either.
Yeah.
So Cambridge there earning the foul. Portland getting the free kick. Maybe they should have been awarded the first time from the similar spot.
They get it anyway from a dangerous position. Sebastian Nava, first in the West Coast Conference with 8 assists this season. Top 20 in the nation. One of those guys you love taking the free kick from this position. Nava sends it in. Headed and scored! What a start for Portland. It's Jacob Babalai. The Pilots came out with their foot on the gas. And Babalai builds on what he did Saturday against Pacific with a goal as well.
And you see here Nava just laces in a great ball. And Jacob Babalai continues the trend for Portland this season in absolutely clinical finishing on set pieces. That's a great little dipping ball, and you see as Babalai comes in, all he has to do is doesn't have to get a ton of power on it, but just redirect it, and he gets that bend. Gonzalez has no chance on it just based on the bend of the ball. Just kind of bend it in with his head there.
How about that? Babalai in his 3rd season with the Pilots, already with 13 career goals now. The forward that went to high school at West Lynn.
I mean, 7 of them coming this year. I mean, 3rd season, he's scored almost half of his career goals this year. And again, it just reinforces what I said. You know, Brandon Cambridge right now is the WCC
series of moves and a shot sailed high that time.
Offensive player of the year, and rightly so, 12 goals and 6 assists. But Portland has so many players on this roster who've scored more than 2 goals. You know, you've got Babalai now, CJ Tibbling with 7. German Sanga's got 5. I mean, they just have a lot of tremendous talent across this team, and the threats is why Portland is so hard to defend. The threat comes from anywhere.
Yeah, talking with Nick Carlin-Voigt this week, that's something he pointed to as to why they've had so much success. He said, you can't just stop one guy. You know, you look on paper and think, all right, we got to contain Brandon Cambridge. Well, you got guys like Jacob Babalai who can at any moment have a multi-goal game.
And sometimes it is. You can't just stop a guy like Cambridge, but also there's nights where Cambridge might have an off night, and that's good for you as the defending team, but also bad because you have 5 other guys that are pretty dangerous in their own right.
Dangerous again in the box, but cleared away on the sliding effort defensively by Vukovic. Crossed in again. And UCR takes care of that one. So Portland just making essentially history being here. For the Pilots, the first time they've made the NCAA tournament back-to-back seasons since 2002-2003. Trying to once again get a first-round NCAA tournament victory. After last year, they beat Seattle 3-2 on this field before losing to Washington in the 2nd round. Off to a great start here, approaching 19 minutes in, already a goal on the board from Babalai. It's a foul called, rather out of bounds. It'll be a throw in here for the Pilots. As Tracy turns and sends it back towards Tibbling. Bonilla. Tsuris surveys and launches. Portland's had no fear with these long balls. This is a tall back line defensively for UC Riverside. Something that Nick Carlin-Voigt pointed out coming into this match is they got some serious height back there, but Pilots are still able to finish off a header already early on in this one.
They're so competitive on those set pieces, and we've seen them run some pretty good plays, some very interesting plays, some really well drawn up plays throughout the season. But sometimes it's just a matter of pinpoint placement, as it was with Nava's ball, connecting with the right player who's making that run in there. And if you have a player who can put it on a dime like Nava can, you just got to get yourself to the right spot, and it doesn't matter if a player's going to get up, you're going to be there to put it away.
Nava now with 9 assists on the season. Just 3 straight matches now, Nava with an assist. Top 15 in the nation in that category. Hernandez dropped it back to Vukovic. Over midfield, now back the other way with UCR. Badawia looking to turn into the attacking third. Badawia in the box. Passes across, and a dangerous pass goes all the way through to the near side. Now the right-footed shot deflected back by Denley.
And it looks like Badawia did a nice job in there as he gets in here. Arteaga kind of gets beat there around the corner, and he tries to go in and slide, and Badawia is able to slide it just right across the goal, but Alexander could not get there and finish it off. But it just, Arteaga thought he had him stood up and slowed down, and then he got caught in the stutter step, and it was easy for Badawia to go around him at that point with nothing for Arteaga left to do but slide and dive at it.
Badawia is so experienced in his 4th season with UCR. Takes a wild shot there from a difficult angle. A lot of velocity on it, but a bit high.
Tasuris has it well covered, gets down to his post, plays the angle right, and at that point, not a lot of places from that angle for Badawia to go.
Yeah, again, Badawia, one of 2 players along with Osorio that played for UCR in this field in 2019, and a 2-1 loss to Portland here at Merlot Field, a regular season matchup there.
Portland right now appears to be getting caught just a little bit. That's great defending from Denley to come through on Omarsson, but Omarsson wins that ball as Sanga was checking too to try to win it, but didn't really check his shoulder, wasn't aware of where Omarsson was, tried to let the ball run to him, and at that point it was easy for Omarsson to just keep running through and pick that ball off before Sanga even knew what was going on.
Gonzalez sends it back over midfield. Ball gets all the way through to Badawia. But the speed of Kevin Bonilla able to get there for Portland. And that'll be a foul against Badawia from behind. Bonilla yesterday earned a 2nd team All West Coast Conference nod.
So you see Bonilla go in there, checks his shoulder as he should for Badawia, tries to shield it out going out of bounds, and you just see Badawia's hands check him in the lower back there, give him a friendly shove.
Yeah.
We'll choose to view it as friendly shove to try to clear the area to get it play at the ball, and earns the foul.
So much speed on this Portland team. The UC Riverside, certain positions have a size advantage in terms of height or length. Maybe trying to use some of that physicality here. Not to say Portland isn't a physical team, but if there's any physical advantage UCR has in this match, it's their height. But Bonilla had the ball at his feet that time. Perfect position. Portland with 4 shots so far in this one. 3 for UC Riverside. Created some chances for themselves a couple times into the box. at least challenging so far. The first 8 to 10 minutes or so was a lot of Portland. On the left side, this is Fernandez. Nick Fernandez back over midfield. Lobs near side to Songa. Gets by Alexander. Songa. To Bonilla. Bonilla passes in at the feet of Nava, and his shot is saved by Gonzalez. Didn't waste any time. Nava let it fly, but it was a nice save by the Big West Conference co-goalkeeper of the year.
That was a terrific save. Nava gets the shot off so quick here under pressure. So for Gonzalez, watch him here as he gets there. He's set, and just to read that as quick as he did and get there, and not just get there, but parry it out safely, not let that ball drop back down for a rebound. That's terrific goalkeeping.
Gonzalez, Big West freshman team selection last year. Second in the Big West with 74 saves this season. Here's the corner, and knocked away. So there's been a lot of matches this year. They've asked Gonzalez to make a lot of saves. He didn't have a ton of saves in the Big West tournament, but he had a lot of clutch, timely saves, and that's why he was named the Big West tournament MVP for saves like the one we just saw.
Sometimes you don't need to make the most saves or have the biggest saves. They need to be the most impactful. And if Portland scores there to go 2-0 up 25 minutes into the first half, that's going to be a pretty big hole for this Highlander team to try to dig themselves out of. So that for me is not only is a good save, but it's a big save and a big moment to keep the Highlanders in this game.
Gonzalez coming out of Mater Dei High School in California. He was the 22nd ranked goalkeeper in California. Did better and better over the course of his career so far. Bonilla sends it into the box. And the header, it's a whistle and an offside against the Pilots. It was...
Don't know that it was an offside. May have been a foul.
Okay. Delise Pierre was on the receiving end there.
Yeah, I think there was perhaps a foul in front of Pierre. Pierre was pretty wide open. But this is a heck of a ball from Bonilla as it comes in. And as we look in here, I think they're potentially calling something maybe on Sangha ahead of the shot by Pierre.
Some off-ball jostling and pushing and shoving earns the whistle against the Pilots. Hernandez. All the way back for Omarsson. One of the last NCAA tournament games of the day around the country. On our West Coast time out here. The quick feed by Lopez. Down to Badawia. His shot deflected back by Denley. Goes right to Hernandez. Portland fans want a handball. Play on with Hernandez. His pass headed away. And Portland finally able to clear it away back over midfield. This is Seha Paniagua. Good to see him back out on the pitch. It's the first time he's played since September 22nd. Key midfielder for this Highlanders team. Back for the NCAA tournament matchup here with Portland.
He's acquitted himself quite well. You wouldn't be able to tell that he's had such a long layoff. He's got a tough job in there, matching up with Nava, with Fernandez, and at times trying to front Babalai to prevent him from getting the ball. So he's done quite well for himself right now.
It's quite the match to come back for.
Yeah.
Throwing back into the fire here, making the trip up north to Portland. It's the Pilots, 18th in the country. They were in great position to get a first round bye throughout a lot of this season. Kind of slipped up. Wasn't playing their best soccer for a small stretch, but still nearly flawless. A 12-2-3 historic season for UP, and as well equipped as anyone to make a run in this NCAA tournament. If they can win here, they'll play Oregon State on Sunday at 6 p.m. in Corvallis. Beavers team Portland faced off with earlier this season. October 14th, just over a month ago. It was a 3-2 victory for the Beavers. A very competitive match. Denley to throw it in. In the attacking third, Denley launches into the box. Headed up top, Badawia has it for UCR. His pass all the way across, a good one to Brendan Clark. Clark surveys, left-footed pass towards Badawia. Back to Lopez, trying for the shot, but sends it sailing into the street, where I think it just hit a passing bus.
I think you're right.
People on the city bus just got a piece of the action here.
Goes over. Here's you see the TriMet rolling by.
They didn't know UP has an NCAA tournament match tonight. Now they do. Plenty of time to get off and get in to Merlo Field here. Just over 30 minutes into it, where the Pilots look to stay unbeaten at home. 9-0-1 this season. Nava. Busy day for him, already 1 assist. This touch gets a bit too far out in front of him, and UCR is back in possession. Quickly turning it upfield, Lopez. Badawia to Clark. Brendan Clark into the box. Stops. Waits for the offense to set up here. The tough pressure defense pays off for Portland. There's Kevin Bonilla. An individual one-on-one defense. It's a staple of both the men's and women's players for the University of Portland this season. Very dominant in those situations.
Thank you.
Foul called that time against Portland. Couple fouls on UP here in this first half. 3 on UCR so far. Hernandez slips through. Clark getting downhill, trying for Badawia, rather trying for Lopez. Portland's there to clean it up. And there's an easy foul in the open field.
Bonilla is so dangerous attacking out of that outside back position. Regardless of what side of the field he's playing on, he has such tremendous vision coming out and can sense when the long ball is necessary, when to pass short and look for something like a give and go. He sees the ball so well and just takes off so quick. It's easy to see.
Here's a chance, left-footed shot. Oh, it's just wide. Nava had a great opportunity there. Really known for his assists, but he does have 4 goals this year as well. He earned that opportunity the way he's been passing this season.
It's a great ball in, and Babalai finds himself in wide open territory, but the Highlanders just do enough, and I believe that's Omarson that ends up ultimately coming across and getting just a tiny piece of that ball, doing everything he needs to do to disrupt Babalai and keep this score at 1-0.
Yeah, thank you. That was Babalai, not Nava there with the shot. Babalai looking for his second goal of the match there. Missed opportunity. Portland right back at it. This definitely is Nava. Passes up top to Cambridge. And maybe a miscommunication there as UCR gets back possession and is fouled. There's another foul, this time against Portland. And our referee wants to have a conversation here with Cambridge. player down and shaken up for UC Riverside.
I believe that's Clark, and
yeah,
he'll be okay. The thing about it being so cold is that when you get stepped on, when you get kicked, it's just a little bit harder to shake it off, to walk it off, to run it off. I mean, everything stings and hurts just a little bit more when it's this cold out.
Clark, the all-conference defender, transfer from Stetson. There's Badawia making a move into traffic, and his shot is wide. Actually cleared away by Portland, a corner opportunity here off the deflection for UCR.
And Issa Badawia has been probably at this point of the match the most dangerous player on the pitch for the Highlanders. The players around him have certainly been good, but he is creating so many chances just through sheer hustle and determination. You watch him when he gets ahead of steam and he starts running and he starts going. You know, he creates so much just from the intensity and pressure, intense pressure that he brings to what he's doing out there.
Went to high school in Riverside, California. But his best season of his career this year, wearing an all-conference nod. Clarkson's in the cross, or the corner, and it goes right to Suris. And he launches it downfield. A beautiful ball to Songa, giving Songa a chance here. Creating some space for himself. Songa stops, passing for Dinley. Dinley with a physical move to get the ball back to Tracy. And now Fernandez, right-footed shot, bangs off of Seha Paniagua. Well done defensively, quickly transitioning the other way. It's a sprinting Luka Lukic. A whistle, and a card is given.
Arteaga just gets right in Lukic's path, and that's going to be that is a yellow card. There's no question about it. You see Bonilla just trying to cause him problems, but you see Arteaga there doesn't try to cut him off to get the ball. He just goes to cut him off and get the body. So you can see just by the angle that Arteaga took to get that, that's what earns him the foul and the yellow card. If he had tried to make that run and continue running towards the ball, probably if Lukic goes down, doesn't get that call, but you see him just go right into Lukic and not really towards the ball, and that's where that foul's coming from.
Yeah, but the speed of the 6'2 Lukic, he had UC Riverside's lone goal against UC Santa Barbara in the Big West Championship victory on Saturday. He gives UCR a free kick from a really dangerous position here. This 37th minute, great opportunity for the Highlanders. Issa Badawia and Brendan Clark setting up near the ball. Badawia will rip it, and it's wide. Trying to veer it on the left side of the net there, and he's frustrated with himself.
Yeah, that's a hard set piece to let go like that, because he feels, when he's looking at that, he feels like he had a beat at that near post, that he could make something of it, and just pulls it too wide to be effective.
So the yellow card on Jake Arteaga, other than the fact that he got that card, not too damaging. UC Riverside not able to cash in and even get a shot on goal there. To Suris. Into a pack, headed back.
It's CJ Tibbling, who's just come on for the Pilots. Came on for Jacob Babalai.
Tibbling, what a great season he's had. Honorable mention all-conference nod yesterday. Transfer from Seton Hall, where he was a regular. Three-time All-Big East selection there with Seton Hall. Nick Carlin-Voigt talking to him this week. He said, we only bring in transfers if it's a spot where we know we need something. We try to grow and develop their players, and felt like Tibbling was a good fit. He's certainly been a great fit this season for the Pilots.
Tibbling, one of those big multi-goal contributors, has 7 goals this season, including a 4-goal performance against Utah Tech. Just tremendous.
It's one of those guys you talked about that so many different weapons can explode at any moment. As Tibbling did once already earlier this season. Muslim Omar subs in for the first time today for Portland, replacing Gurman Sanga. Omar, an All-West Coast Conference freshman team selection this season. Tibbling in the box with it, but committed a foul. Badawia, busy day for him. Tries to knock it downfield. All the way back to Vukovic. Alexander trying to battle through a couple defenders, but Greg Tracy comes away with it for UP. Bonilla. Nice through ball up top to Cambridge. Cambridge to his left. Nice tackle. Strong play defensively. I think that was Luka Lukic.
Very timely tackle. Umar had just started to cut inside, and Cambridge was just about to slip that ball to him as Umar was running right inside Omarson. And that was a great timely breakup of the play.
Yeah, so excuse me, that was actually Vukovic, a sophomore from Serbia. All-conference defender that on the excellent tackle there for UCR. And now they'll have a corner opportunity here. So here's a sub in for UC Riverside. Carlos Osorio, the senior, one of two players on this Highlanders team that played on Merlot Field before in their career. Back in 2019, he played in a 2-1 loss to the Pilots. One of the more experienced players on the roster.
Interesting at this point, both teams, 5 subs between them, have only subbed out their frontline players, leaving midfields and defenses intact and just putting some fresh legs, fresh ideas into attack for both teams.
Pass goes deep in the corner for Alexander. He's able to track it down. Did go over the sideline, a throw in for Portland. Over 40 minutes into this match. Again, the winner takes on Oregon State on Sunday, the 8th seed. So far, Portland with an 8-7 shot advantage. Shots on goal, the edge to the Pilots 5-0. Umar, back for Fernandez. Reverse pitch up top, Bonilla. Good pass forward to Tibbling. Slowly creeps over the sideline. Perfectly done and a throw-in for the Pilots. Individual defense there by Adrian Meade-Tatum.
Meade-Tatum has done a wonderful job through 40 minutes of containing Brandon Cambridge. It's not easy, and Cambridge certainly has had a bit of success, but hasn't had the opportunities in and around the penalty box that he normally enjoys, thanks to Meade-Tatum's very good defending of him throughout this first half.
A bit of space now. Up top, left-footed shot by Fernandez goes sailing high. Fernandez with 1 goal this season, does have 7 assists. Trying to get his second right here.
It's going to be a hard shot, might as well take it, but it's going to be hard to get through all that traffic. But in those instances, if you can keep it down, there's a good chance you get a deflection and it redirects somewhere positive for you. So not a bad idea.
Alexander to throw it in. Back to midfield to Nava. Arteaga. Lobbing long for Cambridge. Tracy nearly stepped up to get possession back. UCR throws it back over midfield. Lukic. And a nice stab by Seha Paniagua to get it back with UCR. Umar, fresh off the bench, draws a foul in a crowd, either on Alexander or Armando Ibarra.
Either or, take your pick. How about both?
Yeah. 5 apiece for these teams in this first half.
The difficult thing about Umar is that he has such tremendous speed and speed of execution. He gets himself going and can stop and cut and turn on a dime, and that is so difficult to defend against without fouling. Just his speed of thought and execution is pretty incredible.
He's gotten a lot better over the course of this season for Umar. Just in the last 9 matches, all 3 of his goals this season, and 12 out of his 14 shots, all coming in the last 9 matches. So his role and opportunities have expanded here this season. Bouba Fofana subs in for the first time today for Portland, giving Brandon Cambridge a rest. Tibbling. Physical move to get to that ball. A play on, and possession back with UCR. Alexander works it over midfield. And the pass forward is a good to Ibarra. Now in the middle. Quick shot. Saved by Tesouris. What a diving effort. A clean shot to the far post, and Tesouris made the play.
Lukic comes in there pretty clean. This was a great run from Ibarra. Denley gets caught a bit too far forward. Lukic unmarked, and Tesouris, again, I said it earlier about Gonzalez, you don't need to make the best saves, you just need to make the right saves to make the most impact, and that was a huge impactful moment, you know, for Riverside to go in tied. Would have been very, very tough mentally for Portland, but as we've seen George Tesouris do over and over the season, he makes a tremendous save at a big moment to keep this Portland team up, likely up going into halftime.
Yeah, it went from Alexander to Ibarra to Lukic in the middle. Like you said, Tesouris making the play for Portland that time. Closing seconds of this half here. Clock stops for a moment, and a card is given.
Interesting.
To Pierre.
Yeah, Delence Pierre earning the caution there.
It's a card on Arteaga and on Delence Pierre for Portland in this first half. So UCR looking to work quickly here from the dead ball.
You see Riverside will have 8 seconds once Clark touches the ball. That's when the clock will start.
There's Clark, sends it in. Clock starts. Closing seconds. Deflection. Umar is on it, and that is the first half. In white, moving right to left in front of us. On the road against the Pilots in purple. Well, UC Riverside has not been great away this season. A 2-6-2 record in away matches. Their wins coming against UC San Diego and Cal State Bakersfield. They've struggled since 2018, 7-17-1 in road matches. So been a point of growth for this UC Riverside team, trying to get some clutch road victories, which they have to do here today. They were the regular season champs and able to host the Big West tournament this past weekend. And Lukic, the nice defense from Pierre, gets him off the ball. Portland building for the first time here in the second half. Physical play near midfield. Clive's Army up in arms, no whistle, play on. And able to maintain possession, stepping all the way through Jacob Babalai, who had the goal for Portland in the first half. Bonilla with the pass forward to Cambridge, and that time It is a foul, and some. A card is given. Given to Adrian Meade-Tatum.
Yeah, Meade-Tatum draws the booking here. You see this terrific little chip pass in here, just enough float and texture on it. And Meade-Tatum puts his hand directly in the back of Brandon Cambridge. No chance for Cambridge. That couldn't stay on his feet there. That's an easy decision by the referee.
And Meade-Tatum has played such a great match on that back line defensively. Out of position there and forced to commit the foul against Cambridge. Nava to send in the free kick. And here's where you talked a lot about this, Angela. Portland is lethal. These set pieces. Chance for one right here. Early in the second half. With one of the top assisters in the nation, Sebastian Nava. Waiting for the ready. Gets the signal, and here we go. Nava sends it in, lofts it high in the air towards the back post, and I think I jinxed him. I hyped him up too much there.
All that build up for nothing right there, you know, and what we've seen from Portland is that they do, I can tell you that that ball was probably headed or supposed to go towards the back corner of the goal box to be redirected back into the middle of the goal.
Quick pass off to the left side, and the shot scored! The finish by Gurman Songa. The defense for Portland getting them possession in a dangerous part of the pitch, and Songa cashes in.
And Portland capitalizes off this attempt to play out of the back here. Great entry pass. What a slip pass there from Babalai. Holy smokes. Just a little kind of inside of the back heel clip right into Songa. Songa one touch, makes no mistake. Gonzalez comes in. He can't do anything about it, and I believe that was either looked like Vukovic probably trying to slide in there and deny that shot, but tremendous work by Portland. This is that never give up mentality that Nick Carlin-Boyd has talked about with this team. Is, you know, they're pressing them in. You know, UC Riverside trying to play out of the back, trying to play out of that goal kick, high press, win that ball back, and within 3 passes, they've got that shot and that goal.
Babalai now with a goal and an assist in this match. And he's starting to play some fantastic soccer. He has 2 goals and 3 assists now, the last 3 matches counting today. And this is where Portland just tends to dominate, second halves.
They're so good in the second half. They make very good adjustments, very good tactical adjustments in terms of just these minor things of, can we press out of the back in these instances? And you know, Nick Carlin-Boyd's called it that killer mentality of, once you win it, especially when you're in the attacking third, how quickly can you get to the point where you can take a shot?
Pilots outscoring opponents 31-4 in second halves this season. Bonilla passes across. The quick shot is saved by Gonzalez.
Babalai quick on the draw there, but Gonzalez quicker to get his hands up and make that save. And another important save from Gonzalez.
Gonzalez is piling them up now with 5. Tosuris with the easy save there.
Well, we've seen time and time again from this Portland Pilots team, and here's Cambridge, just cuts it through. Bonilla slips it across, and just that one touch. That's such an important save from Gonzalez. Portland has scored goal in batches this season, and that's tend to be what the dagger is that if they can get 2 goals back to back, then a third one's probably coming. So that one is the one that is definitely a big save for Gonzalez.
And a point of concern as well for UCR this season. They're being outscored 18-10 in second half. So they haven't been a great second half team throughout most of the season. Portland certainly has. UCR has been really good protecting leads this year. I mentioned earlier, when they lead after the 60th minute, they haven't lost a match yet this season, but at this point it's going to be hard to build a lead. Down a couple goals here in the 49th minute. UCR trying to handle this Portland onslaught. We've seen so many times this season, 10 matches with at least 3 goals this year for Portland. 4 matches, or 4 goals each of the last 2 for the Pilots. Clark goes all the way back for Meade Tatum. Alexander down for Sorio. A foul called against Portland. But Clark will come back to take this free kick. A dead ball opportunity here for UCR.
Brendan Clark takes most of their set pieces, whether from the field or at the corners. Very good delivery from him.
Yeah, he leads the team in goals and assists this year.
Yeah.
And he sends it in here. Headed away. Back to Alexander. Pass into a crowd. Headed once again. And the clearance by Tracy.
And it looked like that was the play to go to Lukic. Lukic is one of their bigger players just in that back corner there. And you see that was a nicely driven ball with just a little bit of loft underneath it. Enough that Lukic has probably done well with that service in the past. But Delence Pierre on the mark there, I believe it was Pierre Cambridge. No problems for them to get up underneath that and cut in front of Lukic.
Yeah, Lukic at 6'2". Got some serious height on this UC Riverside team, but stellar athletes of Portland able to get up and defend those high passes so far in this match. It's a foul called against Portland. It is on Babalai. And Alexander with a throw in right in front of Clive's Army. Braving the cold, shirtless still here.
That would be the Villa Drum Squad.
Yep.
Some of the biggest supporters of Pilot Soccer, and they are in kilts and they are shirtless and they run the drums over there.
And it was cold at kickoff and only gotten colder here, now below 40 degrees. It's officially sitting at 42. It feels like temperature down at 34. Some wind out there too.
I think we saw the sprinklers come on at halftime to water the field, as is custom here in warm times. But this cold, I question that judgment.
Headed away by Vukovic. 6'3" defender from Serbia gets up. Portland still in possession with Songa. Goal just a few minutes ago. His pass off target to Badawia. Arriaga launches.
One of the adjustments it looks like that Carlin Boyd has made is to pull Cambridge back and inside a little bit. As I mentioned at the end of the first half, Meade Tatum has done a terrific job of marking Cambridge, keeping him tight, keeping close to him. And as I'm watching Cambridge and watching this half develop, I'm watching Cambridge just tuck inside, come in, come off the ball, not allow Meade Tatum to stay so close to him. If Meade Tatum comes out to where Cambridge is right now, you're going to see Cambridge go walk 15 yards right back in, just to keep them guessing.
You know, those halftime adjustments have been crucial this year for Portland. Something Nick Carlin Voigt talked about as we spoke with him this week. He said, you know, we've seen it all this year. We've seen a lot of different defensive approaches, as there's a nice slide tackle there by Kevin Bonilla. Beautifully done as Lukic was on the run getting into the box.
the quality of Kevin Bonilla in defending just continues to impress. Watch him here. Just get inside of him, come around, clip that ball. Now, you see Lukic go down, but the way that Bonilla came in and cleared the ball, that's not going to be a foul. Now, had Bonilla cleared into his legs and got the ball, that's going to be a foul. There's definitely areas and instances where you can foul somebody and get all ball, as the term goes, but that was an instance where he didn't foul him going into it.
Fernandez with a physical defense. No whistle once again. Babalai, the nice move going back to his left to create some space. Possession back for Portland. The Highlanders bench not happy with that. Tim Cupello, Big West Coach of the Year, wanting a whistle on either of those tackles. Trying to pass forward for Cambridge. Too much on.
Well, the interesting thing about that play is that Fernandez and Barawia are similarly built players. As they run up the field, they're both very quick, but they're both very solid in terms of body mass. So that was a very stout interaction between them. Two walls essentially running into each other.
Yeah, that's... Barawia is a big dude. He's 5'9". Fernandez is 5'11". Both those guys, like you said, are just so strong.
Yeah.
Big impact there. And a miscue by UC Riverside gives Portland an opportunity for the throw-in in the attacking third. It's Nick Dinley to throw it in. Corner of the box, lofted towards Cambridge, headed away. It's Fernandez on a really nice pass there, nearly freeing up Cambridge. As we see a lot throughout the season, defenders glued to Cambridge, specifically Meade Tatum, trying to free him up. Nearly did so on that play. Hernandez just able to keep it in. Well done. Here's Osorio. Reverses up top to Alexander. Alexander crosses in. Headed away by Tracy. Osorio with it again for UCR. This team can score. Third in the Big West this season in goals. They've scored 30 of them this season. Meade Tatum. Barawia. Launched away by Bonilla and into the stands. Historic season for UC Riverside. 5 conference victories for them this season. Well over 500 at 5-2-2. It's the most conference matches they've won in a season since 1973. They were Division II back then. So this is really their most successful conference season and maybe even season overall in UC Riverside history.
Well, and they play against perennial favorite UC Santa Barbara, always a very tough, strong team, and they were able to get here. The path to getting here required them beating UC Santa Barbara twice within the span of 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, once to close out conference play, and then, again in the conference championship.
Yeah, the Highlanders were 4th in the preseason coaches poll, but exceeding those expectations with a championship. Barawia right side. Trying to return it back to him. Deflected away over to Cambridge. And a physical play on the near side. A whistle and a foul against Meade Tatum. Him and Cambridge having a battle here today.
Well, you see again just how deep Cambridge dropped to get that ball. He does a good job of beating Hernandez once, and then that's what Meade Tatum doesn't want, is Brandon Cambridge running at him, and that's what he's done such a good job of marking Cambridge so far, is keeping him close to prevent Cambridge from getting that buildup of speed coming at him.
Here's Fernandez, left side. Arteaga stops, and a sliding effort. Nice play defensively by Omarson. Now the pass, trying to get it across. to Cambridge, not able to do so. Here's Bonilla. Here's Fernandez in the middle. A late shot. Gonzalez cleans it up. It was Jacob Babalai looking for his second goal of the match.
And Nick Fernandez does such a wonderful job with that ball from Greg Tracy. He's got Badawia on his back, and you just see him let it kind of use his body to position and put himself between Badawia and the ball, let his ball run across his body, and then cut back and find that great pass into the penalty area for Portland.
Clark is pinched off, and it's Tracy and Bonilla who come up with it, and a foul against Hernandez.
Portland starting to get the ball in more open field and run at this Highlander team, and you can see they're having a difficult time adjusting to that and getting their leg out. So Bonilla gets here, gets into the open field, cuts around, and Hernandez just puts his leg out. Nothing really for him to do. Couldn't really get his feet in behind to get his body in front of Bonilla.
Fernandez reverses pitch down to Bonilla. For the U19 and U23 national team practices in the U.S. national system. Bonilla, one of the superstars on this Portland squad, leading into one of their best seasons in school history so far. Pass up top to Sanga. And the whistle against the Pilots here.
Sanga with a great overlap there, gets around Omarson and just can't keep it around there. I think potentially, yeah, we're looking at a goal kick there for what that was.
So just not able to keep it in play. And now we're up over the 60th minute as UC Riverside just to make some headway here. Here's Hernandez with some space down to Clark. Clark lofts in a high pass to Suri's, had a read on it. Just lobs over his head and up out of play. And Clark's their one of, if not their best passer, with 7 assists this season. A guy they'd love to have with the ball in that situation.
He's got the most goals, most assists, most points, most shots in Portland right now. Kevin Bonilla keeping him in front of him and keeping Clark contained. Clark hasn't had a lot of solid chances or opportunities for himself.
Clark, a first-team All Big West selection. And there's another whistle against UC Riverside, and a Portland player shaken up, that being Gurman Sanga. So actually no foul against UC Riverside, excuse me, but Sanga shaken up for a moment, gets back up and play on. Now remember, there's still a yellow card on Delins Pierre and Jake Arteaga for Portland. Angela, how long do you think until maybe Carlin Voigt subs one of them out, if not both?
I give it probably about another 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, those are two key pieces, two of the best defenders in the conference that they would love to have against Oregon State, fully available. On the move, Sanga. A couple defenders on him. Beautiful move. Sanga shot, and it's saved by Gonzalez.
If Portland can get another goal, it's going to happen sooner. The issue becomes is that UC Riverside is now starting to chase this game. There's about a half an hour left, and they need to get a goal quickly to cut their deficit in half and give them some momentum to chase the game. So the gamble that Carlin Voigt is toying with in his head now is that he's taking off one or both of his center backs, which are the crux, the spine, if you will, of his team on the field. He needs their leadership. He needs their captainship out there. And you start to put in some other players if Portland for some reason gives up a goal, now you've got a lot of energy, momentum coming at you. How do you manage that? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, you can feel the urgency, the desperation starting to pick up here for UCR. Clark with a beautiful pass down to Hernandez. Hernandez sends in the cross, just a bit too high for the 6'2" Luka Lukic. There's a sub for Portland. And it's Oliver Yepa replacing Greg Tracy. So Portland flexing some of that depth as Yepa was an all WCC freshman team selection.
It's a sub that we've seen a lot when Tracy has been playing, is Yepa coming in. Tracy didn't play some of the matches in the latter part of the WCC season, and it was Yepa starting in that spot. And this is a great opportunity for Yepa to come in, get some NCAA minutes, have a chance, because there could be a time when Carlin Voigt changes his lineup and he's going to play Tracy and Yepa next to each other should the Pilots advance against Oregon State.
And the freshman from Denmark, some key minutes this year, and now playing in this high drama match here. Up top, Alexander on the move for UC Riverside. Got teammates streaking in the box. A nice pass to Penate. Bounce off Tosuris. Free ball, dangerous in the box, and cleared away by Portland. Now again, Lukic to Clark, and his shot goes over the goal line, off targets.
And this is some momentum for the Highlanders. A lot of chaos in this area. Penate does a nice job. This gets away from Tosuris, and it's Lukic that does a good job of keeping that play alive. Nava there can't contain it, and Clark's effort just wide, but this level of chaos is good for UC Riverside, bad for Portland. They need to contain themselves and get themselves back organized and prevent those opportunities. Clean it up the first time.
Tosuris breathing a sigh of relief. He's got 2 straight shutouts under his belt, trying to maintain a 3rd in a row.
I applaud Yepa there. That ball came to him, and he had the presence of mind as Nava was breaking out of the box to try to pass it to Nava. But sometimes in these circumstances, you want to put that out the sideline into the bleachers and give your team a chance to sort themselves out.
There's a chance with Lukic. Defenders close. Yepa sneaks up and takes it away. The pass down to Bonilla. Yepa comes away with it for Portland. Down the pitch up to Babalai. Good move through traffic by Babalai. Now Fernandez. Long ball up top to a streaking Sanga. He keeps it in play. German Sanga into the 18. Defense squeezes and takes it away. Right back at it, Badawia. Lukic to Clark. Able to track it down near the sideline. Brendan Clark, team's leader in assists. Trying to pass through to Badawia, but Yepa again comes up with it for Portland.
UC Riverside now high pressing, just sort of tasting in the air an opportunity to come at Portland. So they're trying to push as many players forward to prevent this Portland team playing out, and they're doing a great job of it so far.
Alexander creeps into the box. Denley shuts that off well. And a goal kick for Portland. CJ Tibbling will sub back in again for UP. In for Sebastian Nava.
So Tibbling will go up to Babalai's high striker spot. Babalai will come back into where Nava has been playing in the midfield next to Fernandez.
So approaching the 68-minute mark. Portland with a goal in the 17th minute from Babalai. And German Sanga putting one on the board here in the second half as well for the Pilots. Portland in this match, a 14-11 shots advantage, 9-2 though in terms of shots on goal. Bonilla down to Cambridge. Quick pass in the middle. Babalai back to Bonilla. Now Cambridge. Back for Yepa. And that pass is off target. Possession back to UCR. Two more subs. Muslim Umar in for Portland. Noah Lopez subs in for the Highlanders. Lukic out of the match for UC Riverside. And it's Gurman Sanga walking off for Portland.
Noah Lopez had a great run in the first half, came out, and it was up to Luka Lukic. Got a good stretch towards the end of the first half, most of this second half, to see what he could do. So now it's Lopez and Badawa leading the line for the Highlanders.
Those guys like Badawa, Lukic, Lopez been able to get into the attacking third. Only 2 shots on goal to show for it so far for UC Riverside, but they've certainly threatened and forced a couple diving efforts from Tesouris in this match so far. Omarson to Badawa. There's Seha Paniagua. Panate towards the middle of the field.
Portland now all 11 players back defending.
Yeah, it's tough to try and probe through that group of purple uniforms. UC Riverside taking their time with it.
Yeah, Portland just needs to slow down Riverside's momentum.
Seha Paniagua's shot's a good one. And a nice save as well by Tesouris.
Portland has to be alert here. Watch for a quick retake. But man, what a laser this is from Seha Paniagua. Tesouris does all he can to get his hand to it and push it wide.
It's the second shot of the season for him. He's got it again. Another right-footed shot. Took a dangerous bounce in a crowd, but Tesouris hangs on to it again.
And it looks like his own player actually was the initial stop to that it hit. I think it hit Hernandez as it was on its way in. So we see Tesouris come out, good gloves to it, gets up over the Highlander players. Seha Paniagua hits it, and then yeah, just right there you see, oh man, you see Hernandez just trying to redirect it. Now what he's done is a good job. He's in front of Tesouris. He's trying to, impede his vision a little bit and redirect that ball into the net. And sometimes it doesn't come off for you, and you end up doing that, which is just ultimately stopping the shot from going anywhere.
Yeah, and Hernandez had his hands on his head, frustrated there.
Yeah.
That tough bounce for UCR.
That's a great idea, and it's a great, when it comes off, the execution is really, really good. And, I've run trainings and see goalkeeper trainings where they work on things like that, where they have players, impeding the shot or standing in front of the goalkeeper just to redirect, things like that. And yeah, it's very, very difficult to deal with. So a great idea if you can get it to come off.
So as it stands, Tesouris hanging on to the shutout along with that defense in front of him. Foul called against the Highlanders. It's on Alexander. Took down Umar. Portland in possession here. Obviously, they'd love another goal for some cushion, but as long as you hold possession, you're feeling good about milking time off the clock as well. Long pass from Bonilla up to Tibbling, and Gonzalez comes out to secure it. Bonilla gave him a chance there.
Not a bad look from Portland, trying again just to get out of their own half, relieve some pressure, try to put the ball back in towards the Highlander back line and Carlos Gonzalez. So a good option, good opportunity. CJ Tibbling is your prime target to run that down too.
Hernandez doing a nice job stepping through traffic and passing down to Clark. Down towards the goal line, looking for the cross, but rejected by Bonita, who shakes his head. No, no.
A little smile, finger wag. You love it when you see players enjoy their soccer like that.
Yeah. Especially when they enjoy playing defense that much.
Yeah.
Out of FC Dallas Academy, a second-team all-conference selection this season. You couldn't give everybody first team. I guess that's probably part of the reason why.
Quite a few players that could have gotten it. Asuris wisely holds there. He's learning. You know, we've seen him all throughout the season just have such a problem in those decisions where we've seen him earlier make that throw out to Umar under pressure, and it just comes right back at him. But you saw him, Portland had that great opportunity in the first pass. He got the decision right to release, and there you saw him just about to do it and then thought better of it. And this is a much better play for Portland right now to build up.
Babalai just over midfield. All the way up top for Cambridge. Now Yepa. Umar. Fernandez. Portland now in the attacking third. Here's Babalai. Already scored one earlier. Down to Cambridge. Back to him. Just a bit off target.
Wow.
Beautiful build there. Nearly got a clean opportunity at the goal. Portland, of course, rising to the top 10 nationally this season. Did finish second place in the West Coast Conference this year. San Diego, a terrific season for them. They were able to win a West Coast Conference championship here this year. A loss, though, for San Diego earlier today against Denver. 1-0 the final in that one. So San Diego's season has come to an end.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Denver team that Portland tied earlier this year in Denver, 0-0.
And that excellent Denver team will be taking on Duke in the second round. Coming up on Sunday.
That is the only game this year that Portland did not score in, was that draw against Denver.
And you just, I mean, you see the stats, but then watch Portland with your eyes, and you know that's a great defensive team in Denver. They're able to shut out the Pilots. Well, less than 15 remaining here in regulation. Still time for UC Riverside.
Both coaches have a few subs that have been waiting at the halfway line. All three of them sitting here doing whatever they can to stay warm. They've been sitting here for, I think, at least 5 minutes.
Yeah. Play continues. Haven't had a stoppage in a while. Here's Clark.
Highlanders now pushing 4 into their attacking line, anchored by Clark there on the left wing. He's doing a lot of work, Brendan Clark. He's leading the line, dropping in the midfield, creating assists, trying to create entry passes for his teammates, looking for an assist, and even dropping back and trying to defend and help Meade Tatum defend. At this point, Muslim Umar, who's moved into the right wing position where Cambridge has been, and now it looks like they'll switch back.
So the subs will have to continue to wait as Portland takes their time here. Tasuris letting some time roll off the clock. Just over 13 minutes to go. Marson. Now Brendan Clark. Panate. Badawia, that's Noah Lopez. Down towards the goal line. Yepa's there. Yepa sends it long for Cambridge. The speedster trying to get there. Gonzalez comes out from his post and sent into the stands here at Merlo Field.
so important as a goalkeeper not to switch off. I mean, it's cold right now. You have to stay warm, but you have to stay connected with your back line. That's the opportunity Brandon Cambridge is looking for, something that he can run onto, get by Meade Tatum, and that's absolutely clutch for Gonzalez to be able to come off his line, being connected to his back line, and come relieve that pressure.
Yeah, 8 saves today for Gonzalez. Of course, allowing a couple goals, but an 800 save percentage against Portland is something to be proud of, the way Gonzalez has played here today. Now there is a player down and shaken up for the Pilots.
So Portland with those subs, Nava comes back on, Tibbling comes off. I missed the other sub, but I'm guessing it's going to be one of the forwards, because Oliver Yeppa is staying on with Greg Tracy, so they're going to play side by side next to each other and shore up that back line, shore up that defense.
And this is Delence Pierre. Earned that yellow card earlier. First team all-conference defender this season, a third-year starter.
And it's Cambridge that hits the bench for Greg Tracy to sit back in.
Get Tracy back out there after his well-deserved rest. It's a chance now for both teams. Obviously, hopefully, Pierre is okay. But a chance for both teams to get a little bit of a rest here, a water break. Head coach Nick Carlin-Voigt described Pierre as the best defender in the league. A big-time defensive player for Portland. We were worried about maybe picked up another yellow card he might miss next match. Now we factor in, hopefully he's healthy and can be ready to go the rest of this one and against Oregon State potentially Sunday.
The composure that Pierre brings to the back line, he's so steady. You know, when turmoil erupts and chaos erupts around him, you can always look, and he's the one calming everybody down. He's a very organized and composed person in his direction. I've never seen him really shout, get after, get into anybody. He's very calm in his direction to his teammates, and that earns a ton of respect. And so when he says something, when you need to step up and do something, it happens.
Part of the U23 Haiti national team. Big time recruit coming out of Real Salt Lake Academy. And he is not disappointed in his career so far with Portland.
Similar, likely what we saw with the UC Riverside player who went down. It's just a little cold, so when you take that hit, it just stings a little more.
Yeah.
Harder to shake off when it feels like 32 degrees out.
It is definitely the coldest match of the year so far. But it can always be worse. It's not raining, so
that's true. That's true. I don't know, Chris. You've had a couple jinxes on us so far this game. I'm just now looking forward. It's going to start raining for the last 10 minutes of this game.
I was trying to be positive, but I think I might have just absolutely blown it. 12 minutes to go in regulation. Portland back in the NCAA tournament with a 2-0 lead here over UC Riverside. Chris Clayton and Angela Harrison here with you on ESPN+. Pilots hoping to play the Oregon State Beavers, the 8 seed, Sunday down the road in Corvallis. They can hang on to this 2-goal lead. Pilots with a first-round victory last season over Seattle 3-2 on this field before losing at Washington 2-0. There's a throw in for UCR. Now they'll make a couple subs. Quickly bring in Luka Lukic and Jason Garcia. Desperation now for UC Riverside, pressing forward. You get that one goal and you can really apply the pressure to Portland. Things really change mentally if they can just find the net once.
UC Riverside usually plays with 3 backs and roughly 6 midfielders, and you know, most of those midfielders doing double duty, either tracking into the back line or going into the front line. But I would imagine as I'm watching this here, they're going to stick with a 3-back, maybe a 2-back kind of in hybrid to get those other two outside backs up the field, so that they can continue to put 4 and maybe 5 players on that attacking front line.
13 shots today for UCR, 4 on goal. We've had a couple attacks that didn't show up with shots on goal, that were the threatening in the box. Impressive effort today from this Portland backline, and George Tassouris looking for his 7th shutout of the season. As a whistle and a foul against the Pilots, as Armando Ibarra was building some momentum. Clark, as is standard, will take the dead ball kick. Lofts it in, the header towards the middle. Knocked back by Fernandez. Umar checking Hernandez closely, and Muslim Umar comes away with it for Portland. And the individual defense by the freshman thwarts that attack for the Pilots.
And earns the throw-in. Just all over Hernandez here, but not fouling him, staying off of his back for the most part. Just gets a nice little pick from him there and just lulls him into a sense where Hernandez thinks he's going to be able to get it, but Umar is just so fast and can't help but fouling him as Umar's trying to go by him.
German Sanga subs in, and he'll replace Umar, fresh off making that fantastic play. Mentioned earlier, his offensive numbers have really come alive at the second half of the season, but see his development on defense over the course of this year too, fitting right into this Portland program in his first season with the Pilots.
It's taken him a while to find his bearings and find his feet. You know, the first month or so, he was getting some limited minutes as he was just trying to, you know, get acclimated to, you know, this style, this environment, this coaching staff and his teammates. He got here right as preseason started, so, you know, not a lot of time with his team leading into the season to get used to it. But you've just seen him grow and develop, and his confidence grow as the season's gone on.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, all 3 of his goals and almost every single one of his shots this year coming in the second half of the season. Eight and a half to go. Portland, if they hang on here, their first undefeated season at home since 1995. 95 squad made it all the way to the national semifinals. Lukic goes right to Arteaga.
And you asked me about subbing out Arteaga and Pierre. Pierre right now still on the bench. He's come off. He's going to, you know, make sure that he's okay. But Michael Hatcher subbed in, who's come in and done a nice job this year, and certainly would like to maybe try to get Arteaga out. But you can see just how much pressure UC Riverside is putting on this Pilot team in pursuit of that goal. Can they make some magic happen for themselves in the next 8 minutes? And Nick Carlin-Voigt needs Arteaga in that back line to lead the team, keep them confident, and make good decisions ultimately.
That's how much trust he has in Arteaga. 77th career match for Jake Arteaga. Keep him out there as one of the leaders in that back line defensively, and trust him to not pick up a yellow card too. As Umar subs right back in for Sanga. Just did that exact sub, vice versa, about 2 minutes ago.
Little game of clock management.
Yes. Every second counts. Here's Clark on the near side. Lofts in a pass towards Badawia. Headed up by Henley. Portland building the other way, but a nice sliding effort by Vukovic. 7 seniors on this UC Riverside team playing in the final matches of their careers here today. And a special group that has won a regular season and conference tournament championship for the first time in school history here this year. Building a winning culture, trying to make a late comeback here. Down a couple goals at Portland. Tassouris lays on it with just over 6 minutes to go here in regulation. Well, first time Portland and Oregon State faced off. It's a heck of a match.
Great match, 3-2 finish down in Corvallis. I think Oregon State scored the first 2 goals. We're up 2-0 at half. Portland is able to come back, cut that deficit, and then just in the last 10 minutes of the game, Oregon State scores, Portland scores, finishes 3-2. Very, very evenly matched game. Shots, fouls, yellow cards, you name it. They were pretty much neck and neck, and that's what the game ended like. So should this game finish the way it is, it should be a very fun day in Corvallis on Sunday.
Big rematch. I mean, at that point, mentioned earlier, Portland was up to 6 in the country. So that was a huge win for Oregon State, one of their wins of the season.
Yeah.
And for the Pilots, you know, not to say they went into a slide after that, because they didn't, you know, they haven't lost very many matches this year, but they were riding their kind of their highest point of the year right before they played the Beavers. So it'd be kind of fitting for the narrative, trying to get back to being a top 10 team in the nation. They got to get through Oregon State to make a tournament run here this year. Here's some space for Nava. Trying to pass back for Umar.
Just mistimed the direction of it behind him instead of just trying to thread that needle, and didn't anticipate the UC Riverside player ending up where they did, and pulls that one behind Umar.
Could be some of those chances for Portland if they so choose, with the way UCR has got their foot on the gas here. Everybody pushing forward, trying to make a play. Tassouris diving and sliding for the save. And quickly, Luka Lukic got the card, but made sure Tassouris was okay.
And Lukic went down early there to try to get that, so I don't necessarily see a lot in this yellow card. You watch Tassouris come out, Lukic trying to go down in there, just trying to make a play on the ball. I don't see him sliding late. Tassouris didn't have the ball, and then Lukic slid into him. He went down, I think, probably at the exact same time Tassouris went down, and you know, you don't see him complaining. It's fine. He's working hard to get the ball. He's just trying to do what he can to pull one back for his team.
Yeah, he's had a really nice first season with UC Riverside, transferring from Oklahoma Wesleyan, an NAIA school where he was Conference Player of the Year, making a big leap up to Division I in the Big West.
You can see it. He's got so much skill and talent. He's been one of the more threatening players for the Highlanders against the Pilots in this game, and you know, only a sophomore right now, so you can tell he's got, as he continues to mature and develop, he's definitely going to have a big next couple seasons ahead of him.
Badawia, a senior, one of those players, gets a lot of opportunities to forward for this team that will be graduating. Hernandez, a senior as well. Clark's a senior, so some key pieces should provide Lukic plenty of opportunity next year. It's one of those older players in front of him graduating. Badawia, excuse me, or Lopez down to Lukic, to his right foot. Quick pass, well done to Lopez. Badawia's shot is just wide. Tassouris might have got a piece of that there.
And again, another big momentum swing for UC Riverside. And Kevin Bonilla was on the ball, as we see the replay here with Lukic just doing what he can to cut it through. Badawia gets it, and just a piece from Tassouris, and I think Denley ultimately was the one that saw this out. As you see Tassouris come through here, and it just cuts across. But this is where Kevin Bonilla, as he was dribbling up the field, just held on to it too long. There wasn't any of his teammates popping out looking for an opportunity for him to pass. 3 UC Riverside players collapse on him. He turns the ball over, and then that's what happens. So Portland, even though I know they're trying to do clock management, he was trying to dribble, maybe get fouled. you've got to just start to move the ball, pass the ball, don't get fouled, just see the game out through passing. The longer you hang on to it, the more susceptible you are to have exactly that happen.
Still a few minutes left, and Portland looking to hang on to a clean sheet here. It'll be their third in a row. Pilots with a 4-0 win last outing at Pacific. 4-0 over Santa Clara before that. Clark getting up to the ball quickly. Clock stopped. 2:09 remaining here in regulation. Launches into the box and cleared away. Right back to Clark. Seha Paniagua's pass. Headed back by Umar. Cleared downfield to kill some precious time. All the way to Gonzalez. Lukic heads, and it's a goal for UC Riverside. Vukovic finished it off.
Vukovic has been pushing high for the last probably 10 or so minutes. Every opportunity, and you can see why. What a dime this is. Portland can't manage it, and it's Vukovic. All he needs to do is get a piece of it. An on-rushing Tosseries can't read the play and make the save, and now UC Riverside has some life for the next 90 seconds.
Another sophomore from Serbia stepping up for the Highlanders. First team all Big West this year as a defender. Second goal of the year for Vukovic. Off the beautiful feed from Brenton Clark. Not a lot of time, but it's just one goal. That's all UCR needs to extend this match.
Clark has been serving them big all game long, and the Highlanders finally capitalized through Vukovic. And again, it's just Portland trying to see the game out in a little bit of an unorthodox fashion. They're content to just play it long and then sit back and defend rather than look to try to press the ball up, pass, and keep it.
Clark again, sending it long. A whistle and a foul against UC Riverside.
Calling a handball there.
Oh, yep. And the bench can't believe it. And the clock running now with just over a minute to go. The left hand of Vukovic. The referee called there. And there's another foul. It's on Seha Paniagua, and he's not happy. Making some contact with Jacob Babalai. He gets a yellow card. To 42 seconds. Portland just painfully trying to milk this time off the clock and hang on to this NCAA tournament victory.
So remarkably, not entirely sure, the foul was on UC Riverside, I thought, but Portland moving back into a defensive position. And it looks like Greg Tracy's gonna take this and put it over the end line or do something, but Portland doesn't have any players up trying to make anything of this free kick, or even to try to keep it potentially or put it in the corner.
See what Tracy does here. Yeah, heading for the corner, kind of a chip shot there towards Umar. There's a whistle.
I probably would have pinged it to the other corner and had somebody run on hook and try. There's just too many players over here.
Yep. 30 seconds for UC Riverside's season. Maybe one more push here. Alexander fires it in. Lopez in the area. Yepa. A lot of contact there. Vukovic. Emotions running high here.
Vukovic definitely comes around and fouls Umar.
Yep.
And then
He was
Vukovic is looking for some sort of retaliation from Umar. He comes up and away from that confrontation. Umar already up and walking away off the ball.
Vukovic, knowing there's only so many seconds left, Umar had a chance to clear that ball and essentially end the match. So Vukovic gave it his all to try and get there. Committed the obvious foul in the process. And let's check on the retaliation here.
So Yipik gets that ball, and you see that's where Vukovic comes around and wraps him up. And then right there, he's looking, you see Umar trying to get Vukovic off of him and puts his foot up into Vukovic, trying to get him off of him and away from him, and that's what Vukovic was looking for.
Calmer heads prevailed, but he walks away with 9 seconds to go. A yellow card is given to the Portland bench.
Yeah. A lot of officials, a lot of people down there on that sideline trying to manage the situation. And
9 seconds, you don't want that right now. Try to get away from this match as we can. Take your victory. Seconds run off the clock, and the Portland Pilots